When dealing with narcissistic individuals, we often want to explain ourselves, defend ourselves, explain to people exactly what this person is like. Now we have recognised it, now we can see it. However, most people are in a place we were once at where we didn't see it. And this is when you, as difficult as it is, have to sort of take a step back and recognise that a narcissistic individual will weave a big enough web of lies that they will eventually catch themselves in their own web. They will tangle themselves up in their own web. Narcissists are experts at manipulation. However, their biggest weakness is their inconsistency. The more they try to destroy you, the more tangled up in their own lies they become. Narcissists often contradict their own stories. They tell one version of events to one person and then they tell a completely different version of events to another person, which is why they will usually try to triangulate, play people off against each other, divide and conquer, stop people from talking to each other. However, eventually a narcissistic individual annoys enough people that these people do come together. Over time, people do begin to talk and the narcissist lies clash and people start to notice and people start to put the pieces of the puzzle together and begin to realise that the narcissistic individual was one big liar. Victims are more than capable of over-explaining themselves because they've been trained to do so by a narcissistic individual, and they can be missing bits of information due to abuse amnesia. Narcissistic individuals over-explain because they're trying to convince others of their own lies. They often add unnecessary detail or leave details out that make people question the narcissist. They make stories sound rehearsed or unbelievable. And they tell these stories more than once, and these stories begin to no longer match up. Narcissists are very sensitive to things like criticism, boundaries, which causes that narcissistic injury and leads to narcissistic rage. So there will at some point be that slip up in anger, just like there once was with you. Once they were all sweetness and light and charming and kind and attentive, at some point that vanished and their true selves came out in all its scary glory. At some point their mask slips in rage. They blurt out truths that they've been hiding. Their anger exposes the charm that they were using to try and cover themselves. Their projection often backfires. Narcissists usually accuse others of behaviours that they themselves are guilty of. However, eventually people see that it's the narcissist that's capable of these behaviours. They might accuse you of being the cheater and the liar, yet people begin to see that you don't go around cheating, you don't go around lying. Yet the narcissist is on their third soulmate this month. Eventually people begin to see the patterns of behaviour and connect the dots, unfortunately backwards. There's the inconsistent behaviour. Narcissists will act kind in public and cruel in private. However, at some point it leaks out. It's all an act that they can't keep up permanently. They can't maintain the mask 24/7. Every now and again, they slip. Their smear campaigns have holes because narcissistic individuals go all out to spread lies, rumours, half-truths. At some point their desperation shows. The more people they try to convince, the less believable. The mask slips, usually in front of the wrong person. usually in front of someone the narcissist is trying to impress, because that person has more influence than the narcissist. Narcissists misjudge who they can get away with manipulating, revealing their true nature. People who aren't taken in by the narcissist's lies, who recognize the behavior, who's seen this kind of behavior before and are now more aware of what narcissistic individuals are. When it comes to narcissistic people, the harder they try to destroy you, the sooner it is that they will inevitably expose themselves. Yes, their lies do work temporarily. They do work for a while, especially when you're trying to defend yourself, especially when you're giving that reaction that they can twist and use against you. However, the truth has a way of surfacing, and eventually the narcissist will tie themselves up in that web of lies so tight that they can't escape people seeing the truth, which is usually when they move on to new people, a new area, where people don't know who the narcissistic individual truly is yet. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have several one-to-one slots available. The link is through Teachable in the description. If you're looking for further reading on understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several books out on Amazon. How to create boundaries around those who have no respect for your boundaries, such as narcissistic individuals. Healing from narcissistic abuse, a guided journal for recovery and empowerment. 15 rules to deal with narcissistic individuals, how to stay sane and break the chain. A Narcissists Handbook, the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse. And then the novel, Behind the Mask, The Rise of a Narcissist. If anyone is interested in any of those, they are all available on Amazon, and the links will be in the description. Thank you very much for watching. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.